Welcome back to the Frizz and the Grizz podcast with your hosts, Trudeau and D.
That's right. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your boy Trudeau, joined always by my good friend and co-host, D. Frizz himself. What's up, buddy?
What it do, baby?
Hoping that y'all had a very good and, healthy, happy holiday. I don't know. I was going to say great and good, so I said
Yeah, you
great.
said both. I heard that. Good.
I do that a lot, and I'll try to. My mind thinks of 2 words, but one comes out. It's wild, but I hope you had a good holiday season. Hope you got everything you want from Santa and all that good stuff, man. How was Christmas? Was it Christmas breakfast?
Yes, sir. Christmas at the Frizz or the Frizzes, right? That was dope. First time that we were cooking at the new crib. Obviously a large breakfast for between like 15 and 20 people. So it was dope. It was good timing. You know, it's not easy to time the pancakes with the eggs and the eggs with the bacon with everything else. So it was good that we were able to hammer it down, get it good for at least next year. We'll time it off a little bit better so that people won't be sitting too long to eat. But breakfast was great, came out great. Everybody had a good time.
Dog, props to you for making breakfast for 15 to 20 people. That's crazy. But I feel bad I didn't get us started the right way. Get the people started the right way, buddy.
Happy fucking Monday.
There it is. There it is. That's good. Did you get everything you want from Santa?
Santa was good, right? Santa Claus did his thing before he got here. So I'm pretty happy about it. I was able to enjoy a few of the things that the missus and the kids got me. I was very happy. But it was more important to see how happy the little ones were. That makes, I don't think there's a better day. No, I don't care about like the actual presents, but it's more their reactions to stuff. Like I could sit there and live in that moment for years and years and on edge. And I know that's the dad talking, but that's such an incredible feeling just to be like, yeah, they're so happy right now.
I'm not quite there yet. I got my little one's not old enough to realize what's going on. She's like, I think she's 16 months now. So it is. I could give her a box. She'd be happy. Or you know what I mean? Can't do wrong at this point.
Yeah, everything. Actually, to tell you the truth, that the package and the wrapper typically are like the bigger thing than the actual toy itself. That's a great feeling, but like not when you're like, oh, here's a $400 bike, and they're like, oh, I want that box. It's like, here's the damn bike.
I remember being a little kid, making a box forts was the best part of the holidays.
Absolutely. Anything that was left over. So I'm definitely with it with that.
So today's gonna be a little bit of a different show. Obviously, if you're watching live, you can see there's a banner at the bottom saying our topics for the day. If we're gonna be honest, you know, we do like a little conversation on the day of the show, kind of figure out what's the deal. What do you want to talk about today? And we both felt pretty meh about sports. I don't know. It's a weird time, right?
Yeah, the in between time. Granted, we talked about like the Christmas Day games for the NBA and for the NFL, but like it's such a weird time. Like so much strange stuff happened in the NFL, strange stuff happened in the NBA. Right? Nothing played, I guess, like to the course that it's supposed to. So I don't mind taking a step back, you know, letting this week play out so that we have some stuff going into. We got, you know, the CFP this weekend. You got teams that are lining up for playoff contention for the NFL.
Yeah.
Post Christmas Day breaks with the NBA. So like a little bit more to talk about sports wise next week. I feel like this is a good week to just mellow out.
Yeah, so instead of talking sports this week, we're going to talk video games. We got into it last week. We talked 007. I don't know. I just felt inspired to talk some video games. So we're going to talk about the top 25 video games of all time. D's got a Frizz's 5. It's video game related, so hang in for that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, next week, obviously, we'll talk a little college football playoffs, like D said. And then the week after that, the NFL season will have wrapped up at that point. So probably a full episode of NFL. We don't want to beat a dead horse and just talk about NFL every week. We want to give you guys some variety. So let us know. Hit us up on Twitter or wherever. Just let us know if you like what we're doing today, just so we know if this is a good direction for the future. You know, it always helps to get some feedback. And, we appreciate you guys. So we want to keep you happy. Before we get into the video game talk itself, I did want to have my own little Frizz's 5 because,
early.
No, it's not an official Frizz's 5. I'm not going to play the music. But so as I said last week, you know, we do Christmas and we do Jewish stuff. And the Jewish tradition, if you're unaware of, Darian, is Christmas is a big day for Chinese food. It is the Jewish tradition on Christmas. So we did some poo-poo platter. And I'm curious and I got mine. I'm curious if you agree with this, your top 5 poo-poo platter items.
These are all appetizers, right?
Yeah, so the poo-poo platters, like all those little boxes of spare ribs and chicken, the fried chicken and all that good stuff.
Yep. So yeah, I'll rip them off real quick for you. This is all literally off the top of the noggin because you didn't prepare me for this at all. I love that. So number 5, this is not going to be in order. There's no way I can think of the order right now, but I can at least give you the 5 that I'm ordering. Number 5, if we have to start off, it's definitely going to be crab rangoons. Good call. There it is. It's definitely crab rangoons.
I feel like because
All
that's
right,
some
you said
bullshit.
it's whatever.
Honestly, this is my 5, not your 5. So shut the fuck up.
Oh, well, you told me to tell you 5. All right, whatever. Do your thing.
I will give you a 5. You started off with some trash, man. Crab rangoons is top 2. First of all, it's disrespectful. There's top 2. I'm gonna start top to bottom. Number 1, my go-to is egg rolls all day, every day. Love me an egg roll. Really, I would eat like 20 of those things. Number 2, crab rangoons. Number 3, those little rings, the fried shrimp rings.
Yep.
Number 3. Number 4, those chicken wings, the fried chicken wings. And then number 5, I'm a sucker for like those super doughy, like fried chicken, like tenders.
Okay.
Spare ribs.
I think
spare ribs is trash.
You're bugging. Well,
from the box. This is the last thing I picked from the box.
That's true. So I think you had a decent list. I'm throwing dumplings in there because I actually love dumplings over egg rolls.
Dumplings belongs in top 5, but I don't feel like this poo-poo platter item. Dumplings is so good. It gets its own, like you have to order that separately.
Gotcha. Makes sense. I don't pay attention to that. Like I said, you didn't give me a time. You didn't give me time to rank them. So when I said goons or crab rangoons, I'm only going off of, like I said, they're in my 5. But I'm definitely
us goons at first.
No. I looked at B_Mellow21. Appreciate you guys commenting again. I looked at his comment and it made me think. I just said goons, but yeah, definitely crab rangoons. I'm going with spare ribs, chicken wings. You said chicken fingers. I don't really care for them. Really depends on the sauce, right? I replace that with fried shrimp.
I'll tell you, I'll change your life. It's usually like this long cylindrical thing.
Can you do that again?
It's usually this really long cylindrical thing. And what you do, I'll help you. You bite the head off first, right? And then you pour the sauce in it. So like there's sauce all in it. Like it's a cocoon of sauce. And then the rest of it's just, delicious.
While you're actually up there, I almost said down there. While you're up there, the place actually closed down. There was a place that was in the New Beige. It was actually, I can't remember what it's called, but they had buffalo chicken rangoons. Oh my God. That was a life changer. I don't mess with buffalo usually, but those absolutely incredible. Chuck's China. Look at this. We love the locals checking in. Absolutely. Yes. That place, they shut down, unfortunately, they're no longer there.
They shut down.
I didn't see why they shut down, but they had some great Chinese food for a place called Chuck's, right outside of it's got New Bedford written all over it.
Health code violations. Chuck's China definitely health code violations.
I wouldn't be surprised, but they had some really good food. I'll give you that. Hey, there you go. That's probably it too. They might have been a drug house.
They had good food, but even better drugs.
Oh man, but yeah, great buffalo chicken rangoons. If you get a chance to order those somewhere, definitely great order.
Have you ever been to? I know. I think that's Ben Mello, but Hong Kong and New Bedford. I was thinking Hong Kong. You ever been to Hong Kong and Boston? They do karaoke and they have Chinese food.
Is that next to Anton's?
I think so.
So it's like Faneuil Hall area?
Yeah. I went there for my 30th birthday and got hammered. And there's just a woman, like it's a packed bar, people singing karaoke, everyone's sloppy drunk. And there's just a woman with like this basket walking, right? Can't be healthy, with just these chickens on a stick and sells them for $1, but you have to give cash. Yeah,
I think that's next to Anton's. I know exactly what you're talking about. That is disgusting. Absolutely.
I love
this is the most popular topic we've ever had. Let's talk about some damn Chinese food on Christmas. Even better.
Bro, who doesn't love Chinese food? It's the best.
So for you, tradition-wise, is definitely Christmas, based off what you're saying. For me, that's New Year's. I don't want to do a goddamn thing New Year's Day besides order Chinese food. And you got to get in line. I mean, you got to call that motherfucker at like 6 p.m. to get it for 10 p.m. You might even have to call it before that because people are like, I'm not cooking on New Year's Day.
Last New Year's, we tried to get Chinese food from this place in Beverly called China Jade. Bomb Chinese food. Man, we called them at 5 o'clock and they're like, yeah, we're not taking orders for the rest of the night.
I'm not surprised. We went to I can't even remember the place that's in Taunton, but there's a place that's in Taunton that's just, it was literally packed. If you didn't call at like 5 p.m., you were in some serious trouble. But yeah, definitely on New Year's Day for me.
I like how we're like, oh, we're gonna experiment with new things, talk video games today. Nah, Chinese food's where it's at, baby.
Exactly. So for those that pay attention but don't pay attention, remember the Frizz and the Grizz podcast, we go off on tangents, right? So just hold on tight, bear with us. I promise you we will get to the video games, but why not talk about some Chinese food along the way, right? There's nothing wrong with that.
Hell yeah. You got anything else on Chinese food? Because I think that's it for me.
No, man, I think if it comes back up in another topic, we definitely have a lot of ammo. But you probably will revisit this because it's definitely something I'm going to be ordering, most likely getting ready to eat by our show next week.
Amen. All right, let's get into the meat of the show, or the boneless spare ribs of the show, which is very popular in the chat apparently. So we're going to talk video games. We got a list from ranker.com, and it's the top 25 video games of all time according to like people who just vote on it. So it's not from an expert panel, but I liked the list. I thought it was pretty diverse. D has a list too, and we're going to start with 25, work our way to number 1. And I think we're going to stop on some games along the way because they're worth the chat. Number 25, I did want to stop on right off the bat because it's my favorite shooter of all time. And D, you've never played this one yourself, but you're familiar with the series. It's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, quick synopsis at least. I got into shooters outside of Grand Theft Auto in college. And I think at the time it was Modern Warfare 3. So Modern Warfare 2, and I think a Black Ops game had come out in between Modern Warfare 3. But I didn't start playing any first-person or third-person shooters until Modern Warfare 3 came out. So the floor is yours when it comes to how the game actually played out in Modern Warfare 2.
So that the game had a scene that was so graphic that they had to pause the game before the scene continued and be like, hey, this is like completely made up. Please, like, don't take this seriously. And I'm sure that they wouldn't make the game now. But so basically the whole synopsis of the game is Russia and US are in bad terms. At some point, Russia invades the United States because they have cause. And the cause is that there's a CIA agent working with like these Russian terrorists, and they go into an airport and you have to shoot up civilians.
I remember this.
And it was super controversial at the time. Then Russia invades America. And honestly, the storyline itself is so dope. And some of the scenes, like you're fighting in a Burger King, you're trying to take like checkpoints, and like you're fighting in like a Burger King trying to take over like checkpoints in America. So it's super like crazy, the combat in it. And then the multiplayer, man, that's what got me into multiplayer, was this game, Modern Warfare 2. I don't know if they do it now, but the kill streak system where you get rewards, I don't know if they still do that in Call of Duty.
They do.
The number 1, if you got 25 kills in a row, which I never got,
the nuke?
Tactical nuke.
Yeah. Oh. They've kept that. They actually brought that back in Warzone now. I don't know how many kills you have to get, but it's essentially like the drop map, like Fortnite style, where there's like 150 plus people, however many there is. But like there's something that you have to do, and you can get the tactical nuke and just end the map. I've never gotten it in any of the series, but I've heard about it, and I've seen like videos on like YouTube of people doing it.
I've been nuked and just had like when you hear
control it down,
you hear the like and you're like, oh shit. Like it's over. And you know someone's there just like celebrating, loving life because they just got 25 in a row. But if we're gonna be honest, if you get 25 in a row, you gotta be playing like a bitch.
You're probably sitting and sniping. That's not my game. Like I'm not playing a game to just sit. You know, I'm ducking around corners. I'm sliding. I'm probably gonna get killed. But like when I was in my bag with like Modern Warfare 3, the G36C gun, oof, that was like my. It's an assault rifle. Okay. I can't remember, what it actually looks like, but like I might have had like my highest KD of all time. It was like a 3.5 after hitting the reset. Like you get to like a level 100 and you could reset your stats, but you could keep one thing. I kept that gun because I think at like level 50 something you would get it. I was like a 3.5, the highest KD I ever had in a video game. It was ridiculous. That was stupid, team deathmatch days though. So it really doesn't mean much if you think about it because they're probably little kids playing. But like back then, that was probably my best gun that I've ever used in a video game.
All right, I want to tell you my strategy. I want you to tell me if I'm one of those bitch players or not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it works now again, but you back in the day you get to have like 3 perks, right? I like to have the perk that the UAV can't find you. I like to have the perk where your feet are silent. And then I had one more perk where you ran extra fast. So I was like ninja style. And
Mhm.
I don't know what the gun's called. It's like a P90. It's like this little
Yep.
tiny submachine gun.
Yep.
And I would flank the enemy team. So I would run super fast and flank them and just like run around a corner, just light people up, like hip fire, just
Yep.
light people up. Am I a bitch or no?
No, that's not submachine gun isn't a bad way to go. You're probably running double time to sprint consistently.
Yeah.
Ghost is the one that you don't get found on
I
UAV,
love that.
and
Because
then dead silence.
when you hear like UAV activated on the enemy
It's
team,
just
you're like,
like don't matter.
but not only does it not matter because people are looking at the radar and they think it's clear. So
Hmm.
you can ambush the shit out of people.
As I hope he's watching. If he's not, as one of our good listeners, his name is Zay. He never runs Ghost. Every time he hears UAV activated, oh, they can see me because he never has it on. So like you just can't be near him. So like if somebody throws up a UAV, just get away from him because you just know that they can see me. That's literally his famous line that he
He's like, oh shit.
had.
He's got to get that perk where you take out the enemy UAV. He'd be solid. Or like the kill streak where you can take out the
You
enemy
used
UAV.
to, yeah. I remember with Modern Warfare 3, they had the paper airplanes.
Oh, bro, you could
You could take down a UAV with that.
yeah, I was gonna say in Modern Warfare 2, at least I remember you had like heat-seeking missiles. You could lock
Mhm.
onto the UAV and take them down
Yep.
yourself.
I used to get points because I think if I remember correctly, Modern Warfare 3 had a point system instead of a kill system. So like if you took down a counter UAV or a UAV, you would get like 250, right? 250 points. But like you needed 400 to get a kill streak. So like you
Uh,
could take one down, kill 2 people, and you got a kill streak instead of having to kill four
I like
people.
that.
Yeah, I
I
didn't mind it.
appreciate that because it promotes like being a good team player instead of just going for kills.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I didn't play two. I remember the scene. I might have played it like at some point, but it wasn't a game that I like sat down and played for hours upon hours. Because
Yeah.
I remember the airplane thing being, or the airport thing being a huge controversy. I remember that stage, but I couldn't tell you another map that's on that one, unfortunately.
No, that's a really good game, and it's the last shooter I actually ever played.
You got to
'Cause
get
I got
into some. There's definitely some good ones that have come out since. I can't say that they're out now, but there have definitely been some good ones
so
since.
here's the thing. It's not that I don't like shooters. This is what happened. I used to play Modern Warfare 2 a shit ton. Like I would play 3-4 hours in the weekend. This is back like in college where like it didn't matter what, time didn't matter. And at one point I was playing, I'm like, man, there's people, I'm pretty good, but there's people better than me. And I don't care as much as them, and I'll never be as good as them. So I'm like, why am I even bothering? And I just stopped playing. You know what I mean? Because people are like, what do they call sweaty? Like, I don't know. Is that
Very
what it's called?
yep, sweats, yep.
I don't care that much. So like, what am I doing?
But like, excuse me. But like, I know that I might not be a sweat, right? Whether I'm playing a shooter, I'm playing 2K, I'm playing Madden, but like I'm trying to dominate. Like that's at the end of the day, just like, oh man, I went to bed, go to bed at like I had me 3 games, so I had 20 piece, right? Like I'm happy. Like I might have only, gotten it, 3 times and got my ass whooped the other 20 games that I played, but like I got a 20 piece 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Let me live. I'm not a pro gamer. There are definitely too many people that you run across. They just like, dude, just don't go into my lobby. Like, why do you have to be in here? Just go in your own expert level lobbies. Like, I don't want to just spawn, jump around a corner, and bang headshot. Like, that's not fun for me.
Nah, I'm with you. And shout out Pit Boss. Thanks for joining, buddy. Shout out Chi Town. What up? So yeah, solid game number 25. Number 24, we're gonna skip kind of past because I played it. I don't know if D's played Zelda Majora's Mask. Really good Zelda game, but you didn't play that one, right?
Oddly enough, I haven't really played any Zelda games outside of the original Nintendo Zelda.
Was that Link to the Past?
Yeah, that was like the
Okay.
very first one that I played was the one that's on. I think it was a gold cartridge back for
Oh
Nintendo.
no, that's you might be thinking of N64.
No, it was definitely regular
Okay.
Nintendo.
Because spoiler alert, on this list there is Zelda Ocarina of Time, and it was a gold cartridge. It was a gold cartridge. It's pretty
I'm
dope.
gonna have to look it up because I'm pretty sure it was. I could be incorrect. It's
You are
very
correct.
Nintendo was a very long time ago for me, like 30 years.
Good system though, really good
Yeah,
system.
Yep.
All right. Number 23, we both stopped at this one, so this is a good game. I got some theme music lined up. Here's the thing. I usually have it on the touchpad. Today I'm running it all on my phone through my system. So this might be a little, wonky, but bear with me. If you know it, throw it in the chat. Anyone?
I can't give it up. I got the cheat sheet.
That would be Donkey Kong Country on Super Nintendo. Dope game.
I played that a lot. It's so weird. I was a Sony guy and a Sega guy, but I was not Nintendo outside of regular Nintendo. I never owned a N64. No, sorry. I never owned a Super Nintendo. That was the only one I did have N64.
This was on Super Nintendo.
I'd say I didn't have a Super Nintendo, so I didn't play it, unfortunately.
Okay.
I know the game. I just hadn't played it.
You had N64?
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking of Donkey Kong.
Where it was almost like Crash Bandicoot style?
Nah, the one for 64, you could be 5 characters. You could be Donkey, Diddy, Lanky Kong, and I forgot the other 2. Nah. But this game was dope.
It's
really
got a dope soundtrack.
Yeah. The aquatic theme is kind of like, I don't know, puts me to sleep when it plays. You could turn into some of the animals too. Like in this theme, you could turn into a swordfish and swim through the water. It was a fun game. It was one of the Super Nintendo's better games.
Fair enough. Super Nintendo, I feel like the only game that I can remember playing vividly was I think it was like Madden 96. And you could do like the scouting combine. Like it was the first time that they released it. It was actually you would hit X and Y to run.
I was just checking out Pit Boss's chat. So Pit Boss, the old head. I like it. I definitely
Atari. Oh man,
never played that. My first system was the Super Nintendo, and I still to this day will say Super Nintendo was the greatest console ever created.
You're
bugging. You know what I missed?
You
know what I missed though? When your game didn't work, what did you do?
Put it in the freezer if you could. I don't know where I learned that, but I used to put my games in the freezer.
I don't know why it always worked, but you blow in those suckers every time.
So, hot take, Time Machine. You're saying Super Nintendo was, I think, one of, if not the greatest system that never had a chance because it was the Zune before the iPod.
Oh,
was the fucking Dreamcast? Sega Dreamcast. Oh my God. The release date games for Dreamcast was like NBA 2K, NFL 2K, Shenmue, which was an RPG game. Dog, Dreamcast had an incredible lineup, and people just couldn't fathom CDs at the time. They were like, no, I can't do CDs. It's got to be cartridges. Like I can't do it. And so people didn't buy it. It was, I don't understand. But Dreamcast was an incredible console.
I think there's something to say about timing, right? If you come out with a product too early and people aren't ready for it, they reject it.
Yep.
Dreamcast definitely was ahead of its time.
That's why Sega Saturn failed too.
My mom was like, you either get N64 or Dreamcast. And I was like, ooh, shit. And I went with the 64. And Dreamcast looked dope though.
Yeah, I there were some games that I could continuously play. Like if I had a Dreamcast, I'd pull up Shenmue right now. Old school Chinese game, or Asia, we'll say that. Unfortunately, I don't want to I guess construe the area that it is, but it's essentially like an RPG game where somebody kills the main character's parents, and you are seeking revenge throughout the entire game. But you have to move through an open world. You have to complete tasks. You have to collect money. It's an incredible game.
I don't want to get I'm going to get sidetracked a little bit because we are going to skip part of the list because there are games that we have never played collectively. But Pit Boss brought up tabletop games, and I just want you, D, if you could pick a single arcade game of all time as your favorite arcade game, if you walk into an arcade and you see this game, you have to go play it. Do you have one?
NFL Blitz.
Was that the one where we just lit people up? There was no rules, like you just
essentially. Yeah, back in the day when Cordell Stewart was an absolute beast in a video game. Yes.
I always like this is kind of old school, but Galaga, where you're in a little ship and you just go up and down and just blast
the
the
little
aliens
things that come down. Yeah, that's an Atari game.
Yeah,
An old school Atari game.
Yeah. I liked that old school game. All right, so let's move on to we're gonna stop at the next one just really quick because you said you've never played this game, and I don't know, man. It's got one of the best soundtracks of all time gaming, and I want you to just hear this song and be like,
Everybody
nah.
says this.
Tell me this isn't like the dopest theme song or like song ever. Obviously, you're a hater because you're a PS guy.
Sony over Xbox till I die.
But like the guitar and instrumentals in the sounds for this game, it just felt like a cinematic experience. Like you feel like you're in a big movie right now, don't you?
Didn't they make a Halo movie?
They probably made it way after it like ran its course because Halo 1 through 4 was dope, and then it just kind of like
fell off.
Yeah, it fell off. Fun fact about Halo. Now, imagine if you're going like there's things exploding everywhere, D, right? Everywhere. And you're in the back of this thing called a Warthog. It's like a truck with a machine gun just mowing down aliens, and this is all you hear as you're just mowing down alien after alien.
Good track. I'll give you that. It definitely has a good track. I've heard it before. A lot of people make some type of videos off of it.
Just really quick. So, fun fact about Halo is like it is the game, at least Halo Combat Evolved, the first one, that popularized the shield system. They were one of the first. I think they're the first modern shooter to introduce the shield system, where like you have your health bar and you have a shield bar, and the shield bar goes down, and then you can take health damage, and your shield regenerates. They were the ones who introduced it.
Ah, that's actually pretty dope. I never thought. Learn something new every day. Because I know that's how every game is now. You're either putting in plates to like plate up as armor before you hit your actual health, or you have, if you're playing not Fortnite, because Fortnite does it's
very similar to Fortnite, where you have the blue bar, but instead of where you have to drink potions or whatever in Fortnite, Halo, if you just kind of ducked and covered, it would eventually start to regenerate. Gotcha. And just one last thing is I played Halo a lot. One of my favorite guns, which is like the cheesiest gun ever. Have you heard of the Needler?
No.
So it's basically this gun that has a bunch of needle things in it. They're purple, and they're like kind of medium to slow moving projectiles, and they're semi heat seeking, right? And if you stick enough of these needles to people, they explode purple.
Ooh.
It's hard to get people though, because it's very slow, and if you're not close, you're just kind of fucked. But it was a fun gun. Very fun.
Oddly enough, and I know that it ends up being like this in every game, but part of the reasons why I didn't care for Halo, or at least wanting to play, is because it was too futuristic. I also couldn't get over the fact that if I and obviously every game does this too, if I got a headshot on somebody and they have a helmet, it like wasn't going to kill them. But like if I get a headshot in Call of Duty, it's a human being. It should kill them. I know that's a terrible reason because like no matter what, like it should kill them both. But like I could never get over them. Like Halo, but they're not human beings. They got a helmet on. Like I don't understand. It's robots. It's futuristic. It was just way too much going on for me as opposed to just two human beings, one gun shot, and you're dead.
I mean, if you shot someone in the head with a 50 cal rifle, like even with the helmet, they're gonna die.
True. Like I said, it's a stupid reason, but it's my reason.
It's all good. All right, the next three on the list, I think we can just kind of glance by them, right? So 21 is Star Wars Battlefront 2. I love that game. I played that a lot. It's more of like a multiplayer game, really fun. But you never played that, so it's not really worth having discussion on. Doom. I've actually never played any of the Doom games, which might sound terrible, like I'm a bad gamer for that one.
What style of game is it? I don't even know if it's like an RPG or if it's like a shooter.
It's a first-person shooter, but it's from, I forget what's called the perspective when you're just seeing the gun in front of you. You don't first person. It's a first-person shooter. But like the original one was super popular, and it probably was like a trendsetter and set the stage for first person shooters going forward after that. And then 19 was Fallout New Vegas.
I've always heard good things about this game, but I've never had a chance to play it.
Yeah, I actually might give it a try. So Fallout New Vegas is part of like I pay for the PlayStation membership, like the higher tier to get free games, and it's part of the free game package. I've played Fallout 4, and is that the only one I've played? Yeah, I've played Fallout 4, which is set in Boston, which is dope as hell because they use actual towns and actual landmarks in the Boston area.
That's dope.
But I like the Fallout games. It's like a RPG, open world, very customizable. And I'm sure, and I've heard New Vegas is the best of the series, so I definitely got to check that one out.
I need to find better games to expand my actual catalog I'm glad we're actually doing this. Same thing that like happened when we did the shows and then when we did the movies. Like it's allowing me to like see more shit. No, I haven't watched The Office still. I talked about it earlier today.
Have you watched Welcome to Wrexham yet?
No, I started to on the airplane when I was flying down to Florida, and then like the internet and the plane went down. So it's like, all right, I'm just gonna take a nap.
Internet and the plane.
Just letting you know, bro. Why not lie about something like that?
Yeah, if you get a chance, man. You said you liked Skyrim.
Yeah.
And Fallout is very, very, very similar to Skyrim in the customization. It's just they got a different system for VATS, which essentially like you can slow time down and like aim your gun at specific body parts. You can like blast a mutant's leg off and make him start crawling and shit like that. It's dope.
That's like Michael in Grand Theft Auto. You can like you can slow down time so you can stop. We won't talk about other games that are on the list, but yeah, that's nice.
All right, so we'll actually get to a game really quickly. We're gonna stop it, and this is the game that got us on.
This is it.
This caused it.
This ain't even the soundtrack that I wanted to hear, bro. You got to hit him with the pause menu music.
Oh, the pause menu. So this.
You got to wait for it to build because it's crazy.
Where's this shit? This shit hits hard.
Where's Dr. Dre when you need him?
Do you ready to freestyle over this?
Well, GoldenEye 007 on N64, the original screen watching game. Like everybody looked at everybody's screens. I don't care if you put a sheet up and you put 4 sheets and you were like, yo, screen watch. Everybody was screen watching this game. And I don't know if we said it on air or off air, but for those, and I'm gonna look right at the camera when I say this, for those of you that chose Odd Job and threw hats at people, y'all a bunch of bitches. That we're just gonna stop it at that. Well, at least for me, that y'all a bunch of bitches for using Odd Job and throwing hats at people.
I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but I'm a bitch because I liked the proximity mines. I would throw them all over the place and just let people blow up.
I had, for some weird reason, a fixation with the stupid pencil gun. It was essentially the AK, but it looked like a pencil, like a tip of like an old colored pencil back in the day.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just love that gun. Every time I grab it, I'm like, yeah, baby, let's go. But it was a terrible gun and obviously was one of the worst in the game.
They had an electrical gun too, I believe, which is pretty dope.
There's a laser. There was a layer. The laser. Remember when like you get hit and it's like you breathe like if anytime someone hits you.
Yes. You want to know what was mad fun actually with that game? Because let's be honest, GoldenEye 007, and you can throw your hate if you want at me. The actual game itself, like the single player campaign, not that great. But the reason why this is on the list is because the multiplayer was so good.
Absolutely.
So good. And if you've never played GoldenEye 007 with no weapons and playing only karate chop mode, those are the best. You have like 4 people working on karate chop in the show.
Yep. I forgot about that. Yep. That was the fist fights before the fist fights in Modern Warfare games now.
All right. Talking about fist fights. Long build up. That's not the music I was hoping for. I'm learning. I was going for Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Bros. Melee is number 17 on the list. And you said you hated Super Smash Bros., which I was surprised at.
Yeah, I've just never played it. I wasn't a GameCube guy. I know that they play it. I think it's also on N64. Is it?
It's on N64. It's on GameCube. It's on all the subsequent consoles. Wii.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's out now. Switch. It's on everything.
I never got into it, unfortunately. There's a lot going on, and this is coming from a guy that I used to get in on like some Dragon Ball Z games where like or old school, Mortal Kombat with like your whole bunch of button mashing and whatnot. But there's just so much chaos in Super Smash Bros. Like 4 or 8 characters in one map, and some people getting thrown off of an island. 4 people getting thrown off an island, but like you can catch at the bottom piece of the island and then jump back. There's a lot going on. It's just my brain can't I guess like put together everything that needs to happen to win. So I've always just been pass when it comes to that game.
So for me, first of all, I think what you're doing wrong is the way you got to play is if you can hold the shield button, have like this little circle around you. All you do, everyone just tumble left and right because you throw the shield and you can roll left and right. But Super Smash Bros. Is a fantastic fighter game. Sheerly because of the level of customization and strategy, because there's 30, 50 characters and all of them are completely different to play with. So you can approach the game however you want. And depending on who you're fighting, the entirety of, the fighting is completely different. Like you can pick this is not on the list. Like for example, Street Fighter 2, great fighting game, but all the characters do pretty much the same thing. There's some differences and nuances and special moves, but I mean, Super Smash Brothers, Pikachu fights way different than Jigglypuff or Captain Falcon or Donkey Kong or Bowser or Mario. So like really great, fun fighting game, and to just use all this Nintendo characters. And by the way, I have a little beef with Nintendo actually. I've been saying this for years. They need to just make new shit because all they do is just
recycle
up on nostalgia and recycle the same shit over and over and over again. They don't do anything new.
It's a system that it's an everlasting system, right? Like Nintendo was around when we were kids. Nintendo was around when we were teenagers. Like you're saying, Nintendo's around for when we have kids because everybody likes those style of games. It's not too difficult to pick up and play compared to if you look at like let's just use Madden for an example. Madden from 2000 to what you have right now. It's so complex. People just want to get on the sticks and play a game and not have to read the instructions manual, which is the reason why Nintendo caters towards kids because like they're always going to want to play video games.
I mean, they have a great business model. They don't have to make games that are visually appeasing. They can just capture on the characters and nostalgia, change a few things here or there. They're going to sell. And actually, what's crazy? But last time I checked, the Nintendo Switch is the best selling console of all time.
Nice.
So, I mean,
the PS5, you can't even fucking get them still for some weird reason. So they can't be the highest selling if you still can't get them.
Don't get me started on PS5. When you bought your PS5, did you have to buy a bundle?
No, I was actually part of the original wave where I waited in line at GameStop to get a ticket. I was ticket number 9, and there was only 9 being sold at that place.
I had to buy so many trash games.
That's in the worst. Yeah.
Fucking GameStop, man.
Yep. They got you. They got everybody. If you weren't the original wave, they got you, unfortunately.
They sold me MLB The Show, which I played twice, and Gran Turismo 7 or whatever.
Gran Turismo is actually a free game now on the PS. Unfortunately, on the PS Network. I thought about getting it, and then the show. So I'm not a baseball guy. But I actually love playing the show. It's a great intermediate game from when you no longer want to play 2K or Madden, and that like month of nothing being released, you pick up the show, you hit a bunch of home runs, you try to make it to the show, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've never played as like a prospect. I always try to be like the front office GM, But the thing is, there's 182 games. I can play Madden and play all my games. It's just for the game. Even with like NBA, like 2K, if I play the season, I like to play like a 24 game. You can make a short season or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Smash Melee's number 17. Number 16 is. Have you ever played this game? Number 16, Mario Kart 64.
Isn't that the original game that everybody plays like drunkenly? Like,
Oh my God, I'm glad we went down this road because yeah, I forgot all about this. Let's just make Drunk Driver. Have you ever played Drunk Driver before?
I think I know where you're going with this. Is this where you have to play the map backwards or something like that?
All right. So if you're not familiar, Mario Kart 64 is a game for children. You drive around in little go-karts with, Nintendo Mario characters. Drunk Driver is one of the best pre-game drinking games in the world. And here's how you play. You start a map. You do 3 laps usually in Mario Kart, and you start with a full can of beer. The rule is you're not allowed to drink and drive. So what you got to do is if you want to drink the beer, and also second rule is you have to finish the beer before the race ends. So you have to come to a complete stop, chug your beer, put the beer down, and just continue to race. So everyone's coming to complete stops, chugging beer, and racing. Here's the pro tip: the best way to do it. Don't even start the race. Just stay in the back, pound your full beer, and then just go.
And then just go. No, that's actually a really smart. I was gonna say go through the race and then drink at the end while everybody's stopping. But I guess the start is just as good.
The way Mario Kart works is if you're farther back in the pack, you get better pickups. So you just pound the beer, get all the way to the last place, and then you're just like gone. Boom, later on.
That's a cheat sheet mode right there. But I like it. Again, I feel like I vaguely played it when everybody was in college, but like it's not something that I remember out of college. But I definitely I think I might have played it a couple times.
Yeah, solid game. All right, so let's just bang through a couple.
The next couple are kind of iffy.
Yeah. So we'll just say the next 3 or 4 actually right in a row. Mm-hmm. Number 15 is Minecraft. I never played Minecraft. It's more like I feel like it's for like littler kids, but it seems dope. Like it seems like a cool concept.
Never played it. I got really nothing to go. I understand it where like you're building a whole bunch of stuff. Like nowadays kids like play 2K on Minecraft because they're incredibly gifted and talented with creations, but I've never played it, unfortunately.
Yeah. So number 14 is God of War, which I'm surprised you never played God of War because you're a PlayStation guy, and God of War is one of those PlayStation original.
I've been told by a few people to play it, to like add it to your, I guess, gaming catalog. I don't want to say it's time, it's laziness. Like I just haven't had the ability to want to buy it and then play it, unfortunately.
Number 13, I gave it a try, and actually this is gonna be crazy. Well, number 13, people think of as like one of the best games of all time. The Witcher 3. I tried Witcher. I did not like The Witcher, and I gave up like within 7 hours of playing it. And the reason why is I need a game where you can like train almost and get your character better.
Yes.
And The Witcher is one of those games where when your character gets better, the enemies get better as well. So to me, it's like, what is the point of not just trying to blow through the game immediately?
Right. There's no development.
There's zero development in that game. I mean, it's beautiful, and I guess the story is really good, but it ain't for me. It ain't for me at all.
I know that it's not on the list, spoiler alert, but The Division was an incredible game, which is it sounds like it's similar, but like you said, the farther you get into the game, you kind of like going level. Like it's just, you're not getting better guns. You're just getting better with the gun that you have. Right. And it's like, when you get to a certain spot, you're just like, all right, I can't increase my ability anymore. Why do I even want to finish this game? Like it's essentially just it's essentially the same thing over and over. So like, yeah, I've come across those before.
All right. And then number 12, a very good game. You played this one before, Super Mario Brothers 3, the one with the tail, Super Nintendo game.
Yep. I think I might have played it on regular Nintendo, or maybe it was a Super Nintendo game. Not sure, but I remember that's the one that he has like the orange tail in the back or something like that.
All right, and I think so. We're at 11. We'll do number 11. We're going to stop at 11 and talk about number 11 because we both have shared interest in this game, and then we'll do Frizz's 5 right after that and just bang through the rest of the list. I'm hoping this is a good song for number 11. I hadn't checked this music yet, but we'll see if this gives it away. This is what I wanted. If you hear this start, you'll know exactly what this is from. number 11 is The Elder Scrolls Skyrim, which is one of my top 2 or 3 favorite games of all time, just because of all the games I've ever played, this one might have the best playability as far as like repeat playing. Like I've played it. I've probably logged in my life. This is going to sound terrible. 200 hours of Skyrim. And I could just pick it up tomorrow and start a new game and not be bored at all.
So I played it a very long time ago, and like you were talking about with customization games, I love the fact that there was so much shit that you could do, and you could get sidetracked with stuff. Like you have a quest, but like you have a mini quest where like, oh, I want to rob this locker, but in order for me to rob this locker, I have to pick a lock. And like you're picking a lock, but you only have 4 picks. Like it's little things like that, and then like you break all your picks. That I gotta go find more so I can try to rob this guy again. It's little things like that make me continuously play a game. So I'm a big fan of Skyrim. You know, shout out to one of our old listeners, original listeners, Taihi. His brother got me into the Skyrim, I guess, like phase.
So I don't know how much you played a Skyrim. Did you ever do the Thieves Guild quest?
So the thing is, I haven't beaten the game. I've only played it at like certain points, but I loved playing it when I did.
Because I'm say the Thieves Guild quest, close to the very end, there's an item where it's an unbreakable pick, and you can return it and finish the quest line. But I always got that pick and kept that sucker.
Why would you return it? What would be the benefit of giving it back?
You finish the quest line, you get some sort of item like suit or something that's not even as good as the pick. But dude, having that unbreakable pick was so clutch. I do have a question. So I would play Skyrim, and I would try every time to make something different. Like I'd always want to make a different character because I played it one way through one type of build, and I'm like, I want to try something new the next time I play. But every time I just got sucked down the same rabbit hole of like the type of player. And I'm curious what your play style was, because I'll tell you mine after yours.
I honestly can't even remember a play style. I just know that I just played an open world game. Like I know that's not the answer that you're looking for, but I enjoyed the open world because it was different than anything that I typically play, which is sports.
Maybe this will jog your memory. So I would always be sneaky, and I use bow and arrows from afar, and I would always craft these poisons and put them on my bow and just fuck people up with them. I always just stayed in the shadows and just knock people out like from like 100 yards away.
That's like some Assassin's Creed shit.
Yeah, because you could be like magic, you could be like brute force. Not for me. Stealth assassin, baby, all day.
Nothing wrong with that.
Let's get to the Frizz's 5. I'm curious how this is going to go. It's video game themed. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Prepare yourselves for the greatest and most unique segment in podcast history. Let's rank some stuff with D. It's time for Frizz's 5.
Ooh.
All right, D, what are we doing today?
So to stick with the video game theme, I'm going with Frizz's top 5 playable characters of all time. So the theme for this one is basically characters that you were able to be, not just go against. Some of them, or at least I know one of them, was an unlock in a later game in the series. These are all over the place, right? I'm typically a sports guy, but these are all non-sports related. I doubt you have the music for them, but let's just ride with it. Number 5, I'm starting off with an old school game because I love the theme about it. It's Titus from Final Fantasy X.
Bro, Final Fantasy X is absolutely one of my favorite games of all time.
Big time. So I actually remember playing this religiously for hours upon hours, especially when you got to the section of Blitzball. Blitzball underwater soccer was like incredible. And there was a part where like the first team that you played was like very talented and you couldn't beat them. I was like, I'm beating these motherfuckers. I don't care if I have to keep resetting my PlayStation. I'm going to beat them. And I did. Like it was like 1-0 or something like that. But I made sure to beat that level because I wanted to. I was like, Blitzball is a dope game. If they made it a game in itself, I probably would buy it.
Yeah, I like how every Final Fantasy is getting sidetracked. This episode is gonna be like 5 hours long, but every Final Fantasy had like a little mini, I don't know, game to play, and Blitzball was one of the best, if not the best. The card games in the previous versions were pretty dope, but the Blitzball is up. You could scout players, which was pretty cool. You could go around the
Yep.
world and scout players.
It was fucking awesome. Number 4, I'm gonna throw this up because it's an old school game, and the main character / characters don't have names. They're just basically based off of their, I guess, cartridge that you bought, and it's red and blue from Pokemon.
Oh, so the main character.
Yeah, bro. Essentially Ash Ketchum, right? But like everything about Pokemon was dope. Like we grew up in the best video game age because whether you played red, blue, yellow, crystal, ruby red, fire green, whatever the hell all those colors were, like I loved all of those games. But like your character that you were able to be in red and blue, like, and then when yellow came out, you could have Pikachu follow behind you. Fucking loved that. Loved everything about every Pokemon game. Trying to get those badges, trying to beat the final four. Can't even remember what they're called, but like it was
Elite Four.
the Elite Four. Yeah, like I loved everything about the Pokemon games.
I don't want to spoil too much, but it's a great game. It hasn't been said yet in the top 25. I have a feeling it's up there.
Just might be. It's definitely a game that you could pull out. If I had my Nintendo DS, I'd play it right now. Like if I found out, like, oh shit, red, let's go.
Emulator.
Everybody says that. I just don't got the time to do that. Lazy. It's a laziness thing. I have the time to do it. I'm just being very lazy. But number 3, I can promise you've never played this one, but I love this game. It was old school, just mayhem playing it. And it was Lu Bu from Dynasty Warriors. Lu Bu was a badass motherfucker. And if you don't know who this dude is, go YouTube what you could do. I think it was like Dynasty Warriors 1 through 4. You couldn't beat him. All you could do is go against him. And then I think 5 came out and you could create a character or you could select any character in the game and try to take over the Ming dynasties and whatnot. Bro, this man was a fucking nightmare. Absolute menace with a staff. Loved all Dynasty Warrior games. But when it comes... What's that? Is that Lu Bu? Let's go! That man was an absolute problem.
I've never played Dynasty Warriors. That guy looks
really?
like a badass. Nah.
So yeah, it's essentially it's open world, but not open world. There's a campaign mode where you're essentially trying to take over certain sections of like the Asian dynasty, right? And you can be a character. You have a certain clan, and like you recruit. You try to get your clan to be as big as possible, but you are the badass that goes in and just takes down everybody. I loved it. It was nonsense gaming back in the day, obviously when we were kids. But it's definitely a recommended game if you guys haven't played it before.
I like the list so far. It's a dope list.
Let's go. Number 2, it just gets better and better. And the only reason why it can't be number 1 is because number 1 is just too fucking dominant. It's easily Carl Johnson, CJ from San Andreas, baby.
Yeah.
I wish you played the music for it. I know I couldn't prepare you for it because I wanted us to be surprised. But Carl Johnson, not only is it one of the best games of all time, but the characterization that you could do. If you ate too much fast food, you got fat, right? If you went to the gym all the time, you got buff and your strength got bigger. Like you had to ride a bike to get your stamina up. That was the first time that you could jump into the water and you could actually swim. So you can get your lung capacity up. You could get your shooting skills up. CJ's character was just a badass, just coming back and trying to take out everybody in the hood that killed his moms. So like it was just a great story mode. It was a great character. That dude was he's an absolute OG for any video game.
Love it.
Number 1, you can hit him off with the sound for this. It's my motherfucking guy, Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Dude. And I'm not even talking some of the later games that have come out because I haven't played it, but the original Metal Gear Solid game, absolutely incredible when it came to hitting every emotion that you could have as a child for playing a video game. Excitement, fear, emotional, scaredness. Like it was literally everything packed into one video game. And it was a bird's eye view, right? Bird's eye shooter. Like, how hard is that? It's fucking impossible to play it nowadays.
I think last episode we talked about how you got PlayStation for Christmas, and you had the demo disc, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my introduction to Metal Gear Solid was the demo disc.
You can only play
And
that one
I
level.
didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I would play the demo disc, and all I would do is smoke cigarettes and hide in the box.
It was great when you could hide underneath the truck, and like the enemies would see your footprints and, huh? What was this? Huh? What was that noise? Like, just point, or like you hear the noise when they know where you are, and then they would play the music from Speed. I don't know if you ever noticed that there was the same music or the same theme.
Nah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun, dun. It's when you die.
Yeah, it's the same theme from the movie Speed with Keanu Reeves. Big throwback on that.
I did not realize that.
I caught on to that one. But yeah, man, that's my 5. Again, it's my top 5. It ain't your top 5.
I honestly don't have that many grievances with those. There's obviously some historic Nintendo characters you could have added, like Link,
Everybody
Mario,
says Link and Mario.
But that's solid. I like Snake being number 1. He's like one of the original badasses of gaming. I dig it. Good segment.
Appreciate you.
All right, let's jump back to the list. Let's just bang through these last couple because I know we've been running a little long.
You good?
I don't know if you've ever played this game. My favorite Zelda game of all time, and one of the dopest soundtracks. I like the Woods theme, so I'll play that. But Ocarina of Time, the Gold game. Do you remember that at all?
I didn't play Zelda outside of the original one from Nintendo.
I'm trying to think. It definitely was when it came out. One of the most. How do I describe it? It definitely changed the game. You know, like it came out when the 3D games first started. You know, like those big boxy 3D characters, and it was definitely at the time the most advanced game. It definitely set the tone for being an open world 3D game. And yeah, great game. I
would have loved to get into it. I think I wanted to play more. Man, I can't even remember it now. It's a Disney game, but you could be Kingdom Hearts. I loved that game.
I've never played Kingdom Hearts, and it's actually free for the PlayStation store now, like for the Plus membership. So I might actually give that a go.
Yep, big fan of that game.
Worth it, huh? It's worth it playing that game?
Yes, 100%. I didn't even hear you said that. My bad. I don't know if you cut in or out. For y'all that are listening, we usually don't go deaf like that. But yeah, it's definitely worth it if you get a chance to play, especially if it's free.
Yeah. All right. And now I was remiss to not play the theme before because well, I didn't want to play it too early, but number 9, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I know you were looking for the theme when you said CJ, but I didn't want to play it twice. I was saving it for the list. Dude, I mean, you highlighted already why that game was so good. The customization within a Grand Theft Auto game. The first game you could fly a plane, I believe, in the Grand Theft Auto series. The first time you could swim. Dude, that game, I want to go back and play it now, today.
I have it on my PS5 as a playable game. You can hit the casino. Sorry, you can hit the horses. You can the racetrack, essentially, digital horses. Like, you could go shoot up ballers if you wanted to. You could go on the beach and ride a jet ski. So much shit that you could do in that game. Definitely, I can't even say ahead of its time. It was like perfect for timing in video games. Essentially, a movie with it being a video game.
All right, so like, let's do the last couple really quick, or the last couple of the next few really quick, because they're all very good games. But I want to save some time for the top 2 or 3 because they definitely deserve some love. Number 8, Super Mario World for Super Nintendo. You said you've never really played Super Nintendo, so you don't have good familiarity. Just a really, really, really fun game, really good game. It's hard to explain it. Just a classic game. Number 7, Red Dead Redemption 1. It's a Rockstar game, and obviously open world. You can do a whole bunch of cool shit. Have you played Red Dead Redemption at all?
We talked about it off air. I really wasn't introduced to Red Dead Redemption. I never played it, unfortunately. I know that it's essentially Grand Theft Auto, but like back in like the 1800s on horses. I know the concept of it. Never really, I guess, got into it. Probably because I was more of a Grand Theft Auto, and I'm very one-sided, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's very similar to Grand Theft Auto, set in the Old West. The storyline's really good. I would say if you're going to give it a try, I would implore you to try Red Dead Redemption 2. Spoiler alert, it's still on this list to come. It is the probably my number one game I've ever played in my life. It's
Okay.
that good. It's that good. I'll tell you why later. Number 6, The Last of Us, a PlayStation exclusive. I tried. I'll be honest. I played a little bit of The Last of Us, but it's actually a really tough game. Not, it's really difficult.
What's it
Have you?
about? I don't know. I literally don't know anything about it. I just see the banner of like the father and like the
Yeah,
child.
I didn't play too much, but basically the synopsis is kind of like The Walking Dead in the fact that there's some sort of virus or something that infects people, and they become this sort of mutated fungus-like person. They don't have a vision, right? So do they have vision? No, it like sometimes it goes over their head. But basically you have to try to like avoid all these things. You have to be stealthy and a little bit quiet. I mean, you could try to use some brute force, but it's not going to do well for you. And it's kind of like stealthy. It's a very tough game because if those suckers grab you, you're done. It's like if you get caught, it's over. Um, Number 5, I kind of found this one blasphemous. I kind of understand why they put it at 5. But number 5 is Grand Theft Auto 5. Can you think of a good case of it being above San Andreas as far as
Because it's the
thinking?
latest of it. Revision. It's what's that? Don't get caught up in certain history. I can't remember the phrase that it is, but it's because it's been around for as long as it has, and people have played it more than they've played San Andreas. There's a new wave of people introduced to the Rockstar games with Grand Theft Auto 5 because remember this game came out 10 years ago. We were in college, but there were also 10-year-olds that were playing it. You see what I'm saying? So like that's a big genre of people that can play that game compared to San Andreas that came out when we were teenagers. If you didn't grow up in the San Andreas time frame, you really don't know too much about it. But a lot of people know more about Grand Theft Auto 5, which is essentially San Andreas on next gen.
Yeah, I guess the only case you have for 5 over San Andreas is that the online
Yes,
part of it where it just
it's crazy.
it adds such a huge different element. And I guess like the online, I've never played GTA Online, but I guess it's like a game in itself. It's just that massive.
It is. It's essentially the Los Santos, but like me and my crew, we played it for a couple of months, and it was well worth it. There's a lot that you can do. The customization in game still stays the same, but essentially you're in a world with other people online. So you got to think if you're driving a car, guess who's going to try to rob you shit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So like it's essentially just Grand Theft Auto, but just with
Well,
more people.
I saw the funniest. I don't know if it was like an Instagram video or TikTok, but basically, there's this dude and he's streaming,
Black
and
dude.
what's up?
This is the black dude that like gets caught with like cops and whatnot.
No, 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 no. Oh, I've
Uh,
seen that. That's and he gets. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I'm thinking about. So some dude goes to steal a car,
oh,
and
I know what video about.
he
Yeah, I
gets
just
in the
saw
car.
this.
He starts driving off. The guy's like, "You better put that car back, motherfucker." He's
Yeah,
like,
I'm in
the guy's like,
here.
"Oh, I'm in here. I'm gonna kill you. I'm in here." The guy starts laughing. He's like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "Yeah, put that car back." He's like, "My
You
bad,
can
my bad."
see him changing, like obviously the camera view in his mind, just like, oh, this guy's really next to me, and he's like, just bring it back, bro, just bring it back.
I love that, man. That was awesome. The guy could laugh out of it. You got out of the car. Just that's it.
Yeah, because you lose a lot of shit when you die. So like people don't want to get killed because I mean, granted, it's not just money, but like you lose a lot of your ammo and whatnot.
Yeah,
And then you got to buy that shit back, and money is not easy to come by online in that game.
I like that. That was my funny. All right, number 4. We're getting to that. So GTA's top 5. GTA 5's top 5. Number 4, a game you've never really played because you didn't play N64. Did you play
I
N64?
did play N64. I
Did
didn't
you
play
play
Super
Super
Nintendo.
Mario 64?
Yep, this is the one where you could grab the Bowser's tail and swing him around and throw him off of the aisle.
Yes.
Yeah, I played that one a lot.
Let me ask you this question, and I want this. This will let us know for friends. Have you ever on the ice level when you there's a mission one or I guess mission a quest where you have to get the baby penguin and bring it to its mama, right? You know
Have
what I'm
you ever
talking about?
kicked the penguin off of the map?
Bro, every time that mama gives me the star, I'm like, fuck your baby. And I threw it off the map.
Yes, everybody has done that. Absolutely. We were kids. You gotta think it's just you're a menace when you're a child back then. Like, oh, this thing lets me see the problem is like when you're a kid, you did it first, like just running in the map, and you just did it, and you're like, ooh. And so like a little, the light bulb goes off, and it's like, well, there's an end to this map. Let me see if I can kick him off. Oh, it works. So like, every kid did that, right? They did it first by accident, and they go, wait a minute, let me see if I can kill this penguin. Oh, I can.
Bro, the best part is like when you drop it, just like, wah, wah. Just like, fuck you. Thanks for the star, bitch.
Yeah.
Great game. I honestly wish I could play that today. I know I was telling you before, so Nintendo re-released like the mini version of the Nintendo original and Super Nintendo. If they ever re-release N64 with like preloaded games, I'm buying that thing in a heartbeat because, good God, I would love to play this game again. All right, number 3. I'm just gonna hit it with the music, and then we can get right into it because I didn't gauge you in the conversation earlier because I didn't want to surprise the list. But number 3.
That's the battle music.
I know I had that on mute. I wanted to start it like this, and you would have known.
Yep. Love it.
Absolutely Pokemon
love it.
Red and Blue is number 3 on the all-time video game list, and well deserved.
As it should be. Not only just playability, like replayability, but just like the pure amount of stuff in the video game itself. Obviously, the biggest choice of all time that you could have as a kid. Do you go with Charizard? Do you go with Squirtle? Do you go with Bulbasaur?
Motherfucking Team Squirtle.
It's always Squirtle Squad, baby. Always Squirtle Squad. Yes, so that game was incredible. I love Charmander, back in the day, and then like as you got old, you would like, fuck that, man, Squirtle Squad for life. Essentially like Grove Street. But yeah, you could just do so much, and then like you got the introduction of the bike, and then like when you were playing the original game, I'm a hacker. Unfortunately, I was that guy. So like when you were playing the original Game Boy, you could do certain things on Saffron Island to get Mew. I fucking love that, and I could get unlimited rare candies. I love that. I was in Saffron City Evolution. Every fucking Eevee, I wanted Jolteon, I wanted Flareon, I wanted Volparion, whatever they call it. I wanted all that shit. So yeah, definitely love that game. Well deserved to be in the top 3.
Yeah, my biggest grievance with the Pokemon series is that some Pokemon require trading to evolve them, which was kind of bullshit.
I'm a champ.
Yeah, because like you'd have to get they force you to buy the cable. Yeah, I didn't like that. But obviously, Team Squirtle. What was really hard is when you played Pokemon Yellow, and you start with Pikachu, and the first fucking gym is a rock gym, and you're like, what am I supposed to do? I literally just
had to teach him tackle and just hope it worked.
Bro, I tackled this shit out of Onyx for like 20 minutes and finally knocked him down. It's crazy.
The worst is just like you accidentally forget to press down right, and you just hit down, and it was Thunder or like Thunderbolt, and you just like
no effect.
There's like no effect. Great. Thanks.
Here's the worst. I definitely went to the battle once, ran out of tackle because I couldn't take him out, and had to waste all of like if you use all of your shit up, you could like do some like sort of like wiggle move and you hurt yourself and the other guy. I got to that point to try to do the worst, man. Good game. Is there any Pokemon that always made your final 6? Because like obviously you have to be selective when you collect them along the way, because like you can't just throw anyone in the squad, right? You have to build them up slowly to get the right guys.
Yeah, I know that I always had, Squirtle was there, but if you get rid of the original 3, I know that I always had Gyarados.
It's a good one.
Jolteon was for me because Swift never missed. If you could get Dragonite before you could get to the Elite Four, and after that, I cannot remember, unfortunately, like any other 3, but those are like my top 3 that I 100% bring into every battle.
I was always a fan of wow, why am I drawing a blank? Not Mew. What's the psychic one?
Abracadabra. Oh yeah.
I like Abracadabra because that recovery moves dope. I was actually a big fan of when I was a kid of Haunter. So I'd have Haunter, Kadabra, which again, this is why I was pissed off. 2 Pokemon you have to trade to evolve, which is bullshit. So I always got dicked there. And strangely enough, Butterfree was pretty good. Don't hate. Butterfree was pretty dope.
What?
Psychic flying bug with like sleep powder, poison powder, and like the stun powder. It was pretty good.
No, you missed me with that one. Unfortunately, I wasn't a plant guy. I didn't like any of the plant Pokemon. If you think about it. Nope.
Yeah, good game. All right, so number 2 again. So I alluded to this one earlier. My favorite game of all time, Red Dead Redemption 2. I implore you, man. It's a long game. It's a Rockstar game. Funny enough, top 10 has 4 Rockstar games. So clearly they're doing something right, Rockstar. Red Dead Redemption 2. This storyline is fantastic. The world is so wide open. It's like the graphics are beautiful. There's like side quests where you can go hunting. You can hunt mountain lions and coyotes and wolves and shit like that. Just man, that game, like it feels like a movie the whole time. And when it ends, it has such a good ending that you're just like, damn, that was like an ending to an amazing movie. It just felt so good. I was so sad when it ended. Dude, Red Dead Redemption 2, you got to try it.
I'll have to definitely put it in the catalog of games to play. You did good justice with that by saying it's like a movie. You also went down the Oregon Trail saying that you could kill bears, lions, and tigers. So I definitely like that as a side quest if I do get a chance to play that. Haven't played it before. I've never got the chance to play any of the Red Dead Redemption series, but it's definitely on the list of play after something like this.
And then number 1 is going to be kind of anticlimactic because neither of us has played it, and we're probably never going to play. I'll give you a drum roll. Anticlimactic. Number 1 was Legend of Zelda: Breath of Wind. It's the Zelda for, I think, the Switch. So I guess it's very good. It was super popular. I just stopped playing Zelda a long time ago. I don't have a Switch, but
yeah, as I said many times, outside of the very first Zelda game, I really didn't play any of them. Very similar to what we were talking about with Rockstar. Zelda's got 3 games, I think maybe 4 in the top 25 of all time. So like they're clearly good games. It just doesn't tickle my fancy for me to get up there and want to play it. So I can't see myself buying a Switch just to play Zelda.
Yeah, that was a fun activity. I was 1 through 25. That took way longer than I thought. I hope we didn't bore you along the way. There was a lot of games that we just didn't know about, but the ones we stopped on were fun to chat about. But all right, let's close this out. Closing time. I feel like in the spirit of today, I have a different song for closing time, and I'm playing it off of my phone. So I'm hoping I jump in the right spot. This was pretty dope, though. I was digging it earlier. And if you're asking yourself at home, is that the Zelda theme but a club remix? The answer is yes. I wish there's only a couple of you guys watching live, but D's dancing to that in the screen was fantastic.
Again, catch it on Twitch tomorrow if you guys get a chance because it goes up live. It goes as a rerun for you all.
Yeah, this is a good time to just say, like, I know there's people watching on podcasts, there's people watching live. I appreciate both of you guys, but man, you're missing out on so much good stuff if you're not seeing all the dumb shit we're doing actually in person. So check us out, Twitch, dfrizzy_frizz5. And we're on YouTube as well. It's easy, actually. Go to our website. We have a website now. Shout out to us. frizzthegrizz.com. It's got all of the information for D's Twitch, everything for the show. So check that out. But yeah, this is a closing takes. This is the time of the show where we get to kind of close up on anything that we forgot to mention earlier. I want to go first today because I didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do until like maybe 10 minutes ago. And when you started talking about Final Fantasy, it got me thinking. I loved Final Fantasy. Those were my favorite games. Number 8 is my favorite game of all time. Well, I've said like 5 games my favorite game of all time.
You have, but I get it. I get what you're saying.
Definitely in the top 5 of all time. I love number 9. I love number 10. Here's the thing. You guys lost me when you got rid of the turn-based system. I fucking hate the new design because it's nonstop action. You got to program shit. You have to be like intense the whole time fighting. I wanted to sit back, take my sweet ass time, pick a turn, do my thing, press the button, let the game play itself, have a beer, relax. Please go back to turn-based system with Final Fantasy. I will be so back so fast.
I haven't played a Final Fantasy game in quite some time, so I didn't know that they got rid of the Pokemon style. I battle, you hit, you battle, you hit, my battle, I hit. I didn't know they got rid of that.
It's non-stop action now. There's no breaks in the action, and you have to like quickly program everything. I find it to be stressful now. So I gave up.
I'm not going video games. I'm actually going to throw in some sports to end this because I know it is still a sports podcast. So I'm going to throw it out there for y'all that did not listen to us during our fantasy football, I'd say the draft. Yes, I am on the cusp of being in 2 finals this weekend. If you'd have followed what we said when we did our draft, when we did our who's going to be a bust, who's going to be a boomer, who are sleepers. Again, we might not be experts, but we know what we're talking about with certain things. And your boy is in the finals for one league. He's on the cusp of being in the finals in another. So I'm going to go catch that Colts. I think it's the Chargers game.
Is that why you want to get out of here?
Yeah, bro. I need to catch the end of it because your boy is about to rack up on some cash. So like I said before, we are not experts, but if you guys want to have some fun, I hit my mic. That usually doesn't ever happen. If you guys want to have some fun, if you want to joke around with us when we're doing anything involving the NFL, the NBA, the MLS, the World Cup, the NHL, the MLB, any of these sports, catch us live on Twitch. Catch us on the next day on podcast for Apple's Podcast and Spotify. Hit us up on YouTube. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on our website, where we have so many platforms. This right here is literally only growing because of you guys. So it's all love, all appreciated. We couldn't be any happier that we are able to do what we're doing and continuously growing.
Bruh, I can't believe you mentioned fantasy football. I'm in one league. I'm in the championship next week already because I'm honest to God, our fantasy football, I have to listen back to that podcast, but I feel like we fucking nailed that. All our sleepers hit. We hit on everything. I
had never been so locked in on fantasy football for 2 of the leagues that I was in. I had been finishing bottom tier, like bottom 3 every single year in one of them. And the fact that I'm in the championship round, money round, and the highest scoring team in the league, it's like we put together an hour and a half of it. It sucked that we had to go through it, but it was awesome because like if you actually listen to the information that was given, we did some serious research on that. So for those that were able to listen and win your leagues, good shit. For those that didn't listen, they went against us, and you didn't do anything this season, too bad. You should have fucking listened to us.
We'll be back with Norman. And by the way, we'll get out on that, but I love how last week your closing take was so... it wasn't about you, it was about everyone else being like, I love all you people. Good job. Congratulations. This week, you're like, it's my fucking take.
Oh, man. As we say when we're heading up out of here, man. Oh, big shouts to Mass Mayhem 42. I got to shout him out for the subs that he hit us up with on Twitch. Thank you, man, for everybody that was able to get a gifted sub. But as we say when we're dipping out of here, take care of y'all bread, take care of y'all chicken, take care of y'all children, y'all mentals, y'all physicals. Y'all be safe, y'all be lovely, y'all be easy. Happy New Year, baby!